Hey, what's up guys, and welcome back to Anime King. And today I'm going to be giving you part 16 of What If Naruto Took His Training Seriously. Remember to get this one to 100 like as usual, share this to all of your friends on your social media platform, and also stay in tune because after this I'm going to be posting a new episode of What If. Tsunade was Naruto's mother, so stay in tune for that. And over on Anime King 2, I post a new episode of What If Naruto was taken by Orochimaru, so go ahead and check out that and enjoy. And later on I'm going to be posting What If Naruto was trained by gods, so stay in tune for that as well guys. And remember, if you're new, to go ahead and click that red subscribe button and join Anime King and Anime King 2 and become a part of the Anime King family. And thank you for all of your help and support, and without further ado, let's get straight into this new episode. Start the intro.
I think the girls with their nails done now. Girls with their nails done. I think the girls with their
So, the last part we left off, Naruto and his group tried to capture the Three Tails as they managed to seal it after a hectic battle with the Akatsuki as Fu killed Kakazu. Sasuke also told Itachi that he was not alone and he has his friend to back him up, as Itachi then took Sasuke as he told him everything about what happened, the real mystery behind the Uchiha massacre, as he told him everything. As Sasuke could believe what he heard, as Itachi told him that he will always love him, as he then knocked Sasuke out and headed off. After that was over, Jiraiya told Tsunade that he wanted to take Naruto along with Fu on a 3-year training trip, as Shizuka and Keiyashi was going to come as well, as they accepted, and with that they said goodbyes as they left the village. Back with the Akatsuki, the man that are summoning the beast, he's working along with Kabuto, as Kabuto is the leader of the Stone Village right now, and he also make an alliance with the Akatsuki, as the masked man told Pain to accept this alliance, but he told him that he have to wait till 3 years for him to rebuild the Akatsuki and gather new forces. After that, we had a 3-year time skip as Sara was waiting for Naruto at the gate with Team Konohamaru, as Keiyashi was the first one to fly into the village. As everyone was surprised, Keiyashi was large, like a 2-story house. Also, the village knew about Naruto's heritage, about his father, as they loved him at this moment. As Naruto hugged Sara and kissed her, as she was happy to see her boyfriend again. As Kushina gave Naruto a bone-crushing hug, as she was also happy to see him. But something was strange, Shizuka wasn't there. Fu, Jiraiya, and Naruto and Keiyashi, but Shizuka wasn't there. As they headed towards the Hokage's tower, as Tsunade greeted them all, happy to see them, as Tsunade said that she wants to test Naruto's skills. As Sakura and Sasuke came into the room. So yeah guys, that was basically the last part we left off. You guys can switch across the place and check it out for yourself. So, let's begin this new episode, shall we? We got your message, Tsunade. What's the emergency? Said Sakura, as Tsunade pointed at Naruto. As both Sakura and Sasuke turned around. Naruto? Said Sasuke, as Naruto nodded with a smile. It's been a long time, Uchiha Sasuke. Haruno Sakura, Naruto said. The two then walked forward as Sasuke shook Naruto's hand. As Naruto smiled. You remember you promised me that fight, said Sasuke, as he activated his Sharingan. Sakura then walked forward as she pulled back her fist and punched Naruto as she sent him through the wall, as everyone gasped. What the hell did she do that for? That's for telling me that you hate me when you left, you idiot, she said. As Inner Sakura chuckled, that will teach him for hating us, Inner Sakura said. As Naruto picked himself up, as he smiled as you could see his fangs. I'm looking forward to fighting the both of you in my practice match, he said, as Sakura and Sasuke looked at Tsunade, who nodded. Bring it on, Sasuke said, with his Sharingan spinning. "Alright, meet me at the training ground," said Naruto, as he disappeared in a swirl of flames, as Sasuke and Sakura disappeared in a swirl of leaf. As Fu then looked at Tsunade. "Tsunade, if Naruto is fighting them, who will I fight?" Fu asked. "Your opponent is waiting for you at the training ground where Naruto just went. Training ground 7, Tsunade said. Fu nodded and disappeared in a swirl of leaf, as Jiraiya, Sara, and Kushina followed. Tsunade got up as she looked at the pile of paperwork on her decks. She frowned, as she then remembered what Naruto told her a few years ago, as she did a cross-handed hand sign, like Naruto. "Shadow Clone Jutsu," she said, as she smiled as she created a Shadow Clone. "Do the paperwork and make sure that Shizune is oblivious of the fact that I left," she said, as the clone nodded and started to do the paperwork, as Tsunade left through the window. At Training Ground 7, Naruto was looking intensely at Sakura and Sasuke as they were doing the same thing. Then Fu, Jiraiya, Tsunade, Kushina, Sara, and Keiyashi appear in the training grounds. "Well, Sasuke, Sakura, ready for me to take you down?" Naruto said confidently, as the both of them smirked. Sakura smirked as she tightened her gloves, as Sasuke's Sharingan was spinning, as a leaf then fall from one of the trees, as Naruto's eye flashed red, as he dashed off with incredible speed. "Sakura, he's coming from your right," said Sasuke. Sakura nodded as she then thrust her fist to the right, but Naruto flipped back as he landed, as he smirked. This is going to be fun, he thought. He then pulled out 3 shurikens as he threw them at his opponents. Sakura quickly drew kunai as she blocked all of the shurikens, but she was unprepared for what happened next, as he suddenly appeared in her face. He drew back his fist and was about to punch her in the face, but he then had to duck a kick from Sasuke. But he grabbed Sasuke's leg and swung him down into the ground, as he hit the ground hard, as Naruto smirked as Sakura then punched him away, but he poofed away into smoke. It was a clone, Sakura thought, as she held up Sasuke, as the both of them looked around to try and find the real Naruto, but he was nowhere to be found. "He's not on either side of me," she thought, as she then looked above. "He's not there either." As she then smirked, "Then you must be," as she pulled back her fist and sent it down into the ground, a boom, as she destroyed the ground. As Tsunade smiled, as the training ground was destroyed by a single punch. "What the hell?" Naruto said, as he crawled out of the ground. As he looked over and glared at Tsunade, as Tsunade simply smirked, as she then gestured for Naruto to look behind him, as Sasuke went through hand sign, fire style, "Fireball Jutsu," he said, as he released a large fire from his mouth that was coming towards Naruto. As Naruto speed through hand sign, Uzumaki's secret jutsu, Whirlpool Shield, as a large wall of water spin in front of Naruto as a whirlpool, as it slammed into the fireball as it all steamed out. "I am sure you remember this technique from when I first kicked your ass 3 years ago," Naruto said with a smirk, as Sasuke grunted. "How could I forget," he said sarcastically. Naruto then ran through another set of hand signs. "Now see if you can remember this one. Water style, Water Dragon Blast!" As the water from the swirling whirlpool turned into a dragon and rushed towards Sasuke with a roar. Sakura quickly went through hand signs as she placed her palm on the ground. "Earth style, Earth Wall," she said, as a wall burst from the ground, blocking the attack of the dragon. As Naruto smirked, "So you two have gotten stronger," he said, "and by a lot I can see." As he then cracked his knuckles, "But fun and games are over," he said, as he channeled chakra down to his feet, as he vanished in a blur, moving faster than he did before. Sasuke had to quickly duck as Naruto's feet appeared where his head was. Sasuke then tried to grab Naruto's leg, but Naruto spun in the air, making it unable to grab him, as Naruto vanished in mid-air. He then reappeared in front of Sakura as he punched her straight in the stomach, as he knocked the wind out of her, as she gasped, as he then kicked her right in the face, sending her flying back, as Sasuke ran over and ran through hand sign, Chidori Senbon, as he started to fire Senbon lightning needles towards Naruto, as Naruto went through hand sign, wind style, Great Breakthrough, as he blasted away all of the Chidori Senbon, as Sasuke had to jump away so he wouldn't get slammed by the Great Breakthrough. But the moment he was in mid-air, Naruto appeared in front of him. as he grabbed Sasuke by the shirt and hoisted Sasuke more up into the air. As Naruto created a clone in mid-air, the clone held his hand as Naruto stepped into it, as the clone threw him upwards. As Sasuke was now in mid-air, as Naruto fly past him in a blur, as he then heard something coming from above him as he looked up to see Naruto coming down the ox kick. Sasuke brought up his hands to block the kick, but Naruto crashed right into them. The amount of force make Sasuke's hands sting as he was sent flying down to the ground, but he quickly flipped in air as he landed on his feet. But Naruto instantly appeared in front of him again and delivered a swift kick to his face, sending him flying back. As Sakura had recovered as she grabbed Sasuke before he could crash into a tree. But Naruto reappeared in front of them as he grabbed both of them by their necks. He then threw the both of them up in the air with amazing strength. He then went through hand signs as he slammed his palm on the ground. A bottle of ink and a paintbrush appeared as Naruto dipped the paintbrush into the ink as he started to draw a lot of symbols, a lot of seals on the grass. He then formed hand sign when he finished drawing the seals. Sealing jutsu. Suspended animation, said Naruto, as a large cube of what looked like jello emerged from nowhere after the seal was glowing. Sasuke ran through hand sign in mid-air as he grabbed onto Sakura as he fired a fireball from his mouth, pushing the both of them off the jello so they wouldn't be caught into it. As the both of them landed on their feet, gasping for breath, the purple jello then morphed into the shape of a giant dog. The dog then ran forward as he tried to eat the both of them to put the both of them in the suspended animation. Sakura then waited for the dog to get a bit closer as she went through hand sign, earth style, earth sword, she said. As a sword created from earth fly up as she grabbed it, as she sliced the jello dog in two. But she wasn't finished there as she slammed her sword into the ground. As the ground then break open as spikes rushed over to Naruto. Wind style, Naruto said as he speed through hand sign. Wind blizzard, as a terrible wind blizzard came up and ripped through the earth spikes, destroying each and every one of them as it went towards Sakura and Sasuke, as the both of them managed to jump out of the way. As they landed, as Naruto saw how exhausted they were, as Naruto formed one hand sign as a purple dog that Sakura cut in half sink into the ground, as it then break from the ground as it reformed, swallowing both Sasuke and Sakura as the both of them were trapped inside. Good job, Naruto, Tsunade said as she clapped and walked out into the clearing. Naruto wiped a small amount of sweat on his forehead away as he walked over to the jelly dog as he tapped it as it then break, releasing the frozen Sakura and Sasuke. The two were shivering as if there was cold. Naruto then whistled as Keihashi came over. Yes, Naruto, Keihashi said, as his voice sounded more deeper. Keihashi, use your heat on those two, he said. Sure thing, Keihashi said, as Keihashi then took in a deep breath and release, as he could generate fire heat wave from just breathing, as he warmed them up instantly. You three did well, Naruto, you have improved a lot. Now, it's time to see how Fu does, said Tsunade. Fu looked excited as she heard she was going to fight. So, Tsunade, who am I fighting? Fu asked excitedly. As Tsunade smirked. You can come out now, said Tsunade, as many blurs came from the trees. As Naruto saw the rest of the rookie team, Team 9 and Guy's team. It's good to see you all again, Fu said with a big smile. So let me guess, you all are Chunin now, Naruto said. Yeah, but not me. I'm a Jonin now, Neji said with a smirk. Naruto, your flame of youth has shown to be very brighter than before when you fought against Sakura and Sasuke, Lee said, with flames actually burning in his eyes. Maybe tomorrow, Lee, Fu has to do her skill test against one of you, said Naruto. I shall await that day when we fight at our fullest, Naruto, said Lee. So, which one of you will be my victim, said Fu as she stepped forward. As a boy stepped forward, wearing a hoodie, with black glasses and black pants. As he said, I will. As Fu and Naruto looked at him carefully. Hey, who are you? Naruto said, as everyone's sweat dropped, as the boy started to sulk against a tree. You remember everyone, but not me, Naruto. I feel so ashamed. Do you remember me? The boy asked as he looked at Fu. As Fu smiled, of course I remember you, Shino, she said. As Shino smiled. You see, Naruto, a real friend would never forget me, Shino said. But how could I remember you with that hoodie covering almost entirely of your face, said Naruto, and plus you're wearing glasses. True, this clothing does cover my facial structure. So, I will forgive you, said Shino, as he then turned to Fu. We will be fighting now, he said. Before that, said Naruto as he went through hand sign, Sealing Jutsu, Earth, Restoration Jutsu, as he placed his hand on the ground. It was like time was reversing, as the ground was going back to normal before Sakura punched it. It was like the ground was healing. Thank you, said Shino. Well, shall we begin? Fu asked. Sure thing, Shino said. Oh yeah, said Fu. Remember, Shino, we have a date after this, she said, with a wink. Shino blushed and nodded, as Fu then said begin, as she rushed forward with unimaginable speed, nearly as fast as Naruto. As she then appeared right in front of him and sent a punch right towards his face, but he ducked under the punch. Shino then released a wave of bugs after her. She jumped out of the way and went through hand signs. Ninja art, destruction beetle control, she said as the bugs that Shino fired then stopped. Now then, who's your master? Fu said. Due to Fu having the Nadabi as her Biju, she could communicate with any type of insects. And that jutsu she just used, she was able to control them. You are Fu, the bug said, as he then turned at Shino and tried to attack him. As Shino jumped back, how was she able to take control of my insects, he said, as Fu chuckled. I can take control of any bugs and have them do my enemy in. And right now, Shino, you're my enemy, she said with a smirk. Shino cursed under his breath as he sent another wave of bugs after her, as the two bugs wave clashed into each other. Wind Dragon Blast Jutsu, said Fu, as she fired a blast of wind from her mouth that took the shape of a dragon and rushed towards Shino. Shino went through his own hand signs, ninja art. Kakai shield, he said, as a number of Kakai bugs came out of his sleeves and formed a shield around him, protecting him from the wind blast. When the wind blast died down, Shino had to dodge as Fu came at him with a right hook, but she didn't let up there, as she then twisted her body as she kicked him right in the ribs, as Shino flipped off the ground as his bugs caught him. As he placed him back on his feet, he then released a wave of bugs that went towards her, as Fu jumped straight up into the air as she went through hand sign, Earth style. Massive cataclysmic destruction, she said, as she came down and stepped in the earth with a boom, as Shino had to jump back from all of the debris and everything flying. As Shino had to cover his face, he then heard something behind him. Before he could turn, a kunai was at his throat. Don't move, Shino, or else, Fu whispered in his ear, as Shino blushed after hearing that, as Fu just chuckled. She was so close to him. Good work, you two, said Tsunade as she came out. You have really improved as well, Fu, said Tsunade as she gave Fu a clap, as Fu then kissed Shino on the cheek. Nice job, Shino, she said. You were awesome. As Naruto walked over, as Tsunade looked at Naruto and Fu, you two have shown much skill right now, and I hope you will show much skill when I send you out on missions, she said. Now, all of you can go home and get some rest, said Tsunade, as all of them nodded as Keiichi fly off to the Uzumaki household, as Tsunade and Jiraiya was the only one left there. Meanwhile, Sara and Fu and Shino, along with Sara, was walking down the street, as Shino had asked Naruto what kind of food Fu loved the most, and Naruto told him to take her to Ichiraku Ramen. Shino would have gone somewhere else for his first date with her, but Naruto said that she loved that place, so yeah. So Shino, where are you taking me for our date tonight? She asked. Oh, Ichiraku Ramen, said Shino. Whoa, really? I love that place. They sell the most awesomest ramen, said Fu as she smiled. As Shino then looked depressed as everyone noticed it. As Naruto looked over, Shino, is there something wrong? I still cannot believe that you forgot me, Shino said. As Naruto's sweat dropped. He's still thinking about that, Naruto thought. It's okay, Shino. Maybe some nice ramen will make you feel better, said Fu. Yeah, it will, said Shino, as the group then arrived at the Ichiraku ramen stand, as Naruto took in a deep breath as he smelled all of the ramen flavors. Ah, the wonderful scent of ramen, he said, as he moved the stall curtain and entered the ramen bar. Hey old man, set up 10 bowls for me, Naruto said, as the old man turned around. It couldn't be, he said, as he then smiled after recognizing his favorite customer. Naruto, is that you, he said? As Naruto nodded. It's good to see you, boy, he said, as the old man called for Amy. Yeah, you don't have to yell, Amy said, as she then turned. Wait, Naruto, is that you? She said, as she looked over. What the hell? You have grown taller than me, she said, as she measured their height. As Naruto smiled. As the group then sat down, as the old man went and prepared their ramen, as Shino and Fu talk, as Fu talk about her journey, and Shino also talk about other things, as Naruto and Sara caught up. For the 3 years they have spent without each other. After the date was over, everyone said their goodbyes, as Sara and Naruto shared a passionate kiss, as Fu kissed Shino on his cheek, as both Naruto and Fu went home. Well, that's a good welcome day back to Konoha, Naruto said, as Fu nodded. As they arrived at the Uzumaki household, as they entered the house, as they noticed that no one was in the living room. Mom is probably asleep, Naruto thought. As he went to the second bathroom and Fu went to the first bathroom, as they brushed their teeth and have a bath, and changed into their pajamas, as they came out and went to bed. But Naruto, being who he is, wanted to have the last word. So, does this mean that you and Shino are going steady? Naruto said, as Keiyashi was outside, as he was sleeping. Shut up, said Fu, as Naruto chuckled and turned off the light. The next morning, Naruto and Fu yawned loudly as they woke up because of Naruto's alarm clock. As Naruto looked over the clock, it was 8:30 in the morning. As the both of them got ready, as they went downstairs. Yummy pancake, Naruto said as he smelled pancake. As they entered, as they saw Kushina preparing a lot of pancake for the both of them. As Fu was also drooling, as the both of them put their plates in front of them, and Kushina gave them a lot of pancakes as the both of them drowned it with syrup. As they both dig in, as Kushina smiled, it has been lonely with her here alone. She then noticed something that no one really seemed to notice. Keiyashi was here, but Naruto, said Kushina, as Naruto looked up. What is it, he said, with his mouth stuffed of pancake, as he then took the milk and washed it down. Yeah, mom, he said after taking a huge gulp. Where is your little fox, Shizuka? As Naruto and Fu looked at each other, as the both of them then looked down, as the room was silent. Naruto, what happened to Shizuka? Kushina asked. Naruto took a deep breath as he looked up. It was about a year ago, he said. Flashback. As Keiyashi and Fu were training, as both Naruto and Shizuka were to themselves. As Naruto told Shizuka that he wanted to talk to her about something. So, what is it? Are you sure? Naruto said. Huh? Said Shizuka. Are you sure that you want to become the next Kyuubi? Said Naruto, and leave everyone behind. Me, Keiyashi, Fu, your friends. Naruto, this is a one-time opportunity for me. Becoming the next Kyuubi is the title some other kitsune in the demon world would dream of having. I was so ecstatic when the Kyuubi chose me. And when I get the power of Nine-Tailed Kitsune, I can protect everyone, all of you, said Shizuka. As Naruto lowered his head, as he started to cry. As Shizuka then grew to her normal size, as she was tall like a one-story house, as she wrapped her 7 tails around Naruto, as she stayed with him like that until he stopped crying, as she then shrank back down. Feel better? She asked. Yeah, it's just that we're going to miss you when you leave, he said. I know, she said, but don't worry, I will be back with 9 tails, and the Kyuubi unique power will pass into me, and he will turn into an 8-tailed fox. As Naruto smiled, Shizuka then felt something strange. What's going on, she said, as she then grew, as she turned back to her full size of a one-story house, as she then started to glow, Shizuka, what's going on? You're glowing, Naruto said, as Shizuka looked at her body, as she was glowing in a pure white light. As she then glowed to the point where Naruto had to cover his eyes, as she was growing in this glowing form. As she now looked down at Naruto as he looked like an ant, as she felt something behind her. When the light died down, she had 8 tails now switching behind her, as she shrank back down to Naruto's size. Well, it looks like the tale of acceptance has finally arrived, she said. I have fully accepted my role to become the next Kyuubi and protect all foxes and all those that are precious to me. Naruto's eyes then flashed red, as Shizuka then turned serious. Naruto, use the mind transportation jutsu. The Kyuubi wants to continue my training, she said, as Naruto nodded, as a tear ran from his eyes. Don't worry, Shizuka said. I will see you again. As he then went through hand sign, mind transportation jutsu, he said, as Shizuka then turned into particle of light, as all of those particles flew into Naruto's head. As the group then came around, hey Naruto, where's Shizuka? Keiichi asked. As Naruto then told him the entire story about how he sent Shizuka in his mind and about the 8-tail thing. As the Kyuubi then made contact with him, Kid, it's been a while. Shizuka is here, but apparently she cannot talk to you like I can. But she said you must continue your training and grow strong, and make everyone at Konoha see how much you have changed. She's counting on you. Now then, I will be severing all connection with your mindscape here and sealing it off unless I say you can enter. What? How can you do that? It's my mind, Naruto shouted, as the Kyuubi just sighed. I don't want any distraction. Shizuka need all the training that she can get, and with you being here, it will just cause problem. And as to how I'm able to do this, let's just say I figure out some tricks about your mind, said the Kyuubi. End of the flashback. And that's the story, Naruto said, as Kushina looked a bit sad. But don't worry, said Kushina. Shizuka made it to 6 tails in a matter of months. 9 tails should be no problem for her. She will be back and stronger than ever. I know, said Naruto. That's why I will continue training until Shizuka is back in the real world, he said. Yeah, same here, said Fu. Now, let's go, said Naruto. It's time for us to take our first mission. As they said goodbye to Kushina as they headed off. As they arrived where the missions were given out, Fu and Naruto was about to barge in when they heard a voice from the other side of the door. What? As they recognized the voice to be Tsunade's. What do you mean you located the Akatsuki base? If this is a joke, I am not playing around, said Tsunade. I am not joking, Tsunade, said Kakashi. When you send me out on the A-Rank mission to kill the missing Nin, I used Pakon, and Pakon said he smelled something on him. So I told him to follow the scent, and the scent leads straight to an area which was on the border of the river country and the sand. I realized this was the Akatsuki base because I saw one of their members enter the cave. It's a boulder that is locked and opened by the use of a very special sealing jutsu. If I could get Naruto or Jiraiya to come on a mission to do some stealth and reconnaissance mission, we can gain some information on their plans, said Kakashi. Tsunade was in shock as Kakashi then reached as he pulled out a sword. It's the Raging Sword, a legendary sword used by the second Hokage Tobirama. Thanks, said Tsunade. Here's your pay for the mission. Also, find Naruto, Fu, Sara, Sakura, Sasuke, Hinata, Jiraiya, and tell Naruto to get Keiichi. He will be needed for transportation and retreating, said Tsunade. Kakashi nodded as he turned to leave, but Naruto and Fu entered the room. We hear you need us for something, Naruto said. Something about a spine mission on the Akatsuki, Fu said. How much did you hear? Asked Tsunade. Pretty much everything, said Naruto. And this is awesome. We can get those bastards. But guys, let me end this episode right here. If you want to see the next part of this, you already know what to do. Like, subscribe, comment down below, and turn on that bell notification to stay posted. Remember to share to all of your friends on social media platform. And also stay in tune for What If Tsunade was Naruto's mother. I'm gonna be posting a new episode of that on this channel, so stay in tune for that and enjoy. And I also post a new episode of What If Naruto was taken by Orochimaru over on Anime King 2, so go ahead and check out that, guys. And later on, I'm going to be posting a new episode of What If Naruto was trained by gods So stay in tune for that as well, guys, and enjoy. And remember, if you're new and this is the first time hearing my voice and you enjoy the videos on both Anime King and Anime King 2, go ahead and click that red subscribe button and become a part of the Anime King family. And thank you for all of your help and your support. And remember to comment down below and tell me if you're new. I'll be replying and talking back to all of you. So yeah guys, no further ado, I'm out for now. See you next time. Peace.